this. More 10 mil. Free up this fuel line here. Okay, don't lose this. Sits here. Looks like it's identical in how it's made, so it doesn't matter which way it goes on. Just whoop, hang on to it though, don't lose it. All right, we're gonna free up this fuel line here. So we're gonna come in here, pop this off here. Allows us to lift up this, get that out of the way. And then this fine, very fine one here is a little stretchy. You just lift that hook up, it's got some spring to it. Carb should just come right off of this point. Not hooked up to any fuel lines anymore. We're gonna take this apart. I cleaned this particular section off camera, but you're going to want to make sure you get your float and your fuel inlet needle all the way scrubbed clean here. This is the fuel inlet needle. Make sure that's extra clean. What we're doing now is removing the main fuel jet. It has a notch in it that you can get a slotted screwdriver into carefully. We're going to clean that off with a little bit of carb cleaner. Free floating above the main fuel jet is the emulsifier. I inserted a jeweler's screwdriver into the main bore of this and give it a few taps, and that loosened it up and I was able to draw it down. There. See that? So it locked in place there, freed it up. I was able to draw it down. I'll use the jewelers to clean out the main bore all the way, but after that, we're going to have a considerable amount of work to do because this thing has more than 20 small holes up and down the sides. So you can use a thin piece of copper wire, but you are probably going to be best using a steel brush and using a single bristle. But we'll shine it up, get everything off the exterior, and then we'll start tackling all these little holes. This may not be the most interesting part of the project to watch, but it was certainly the most necessary. So I am showing you guys in detail here. You could clean the rest of the carb really well and get it all put back together nicely. But unless you get every one of these holes cleaned out nicely, neatly, your carburetor is not going to work like it's supposed to. So you got to do this part right. Got a total of 5, 6 every 90 degrees. Before we wrap up here, I'm going to remove this black screw here. Plastic screws, so be careful with it. You'll be able to see how far it was inserted. Probably because there's that white line closest to the head. That's as far deep as we were in. We're taking that out in order to get to this. All right. There. Ooh, that's a mess. Is what's blocked there. That's what we want to clean up here. I'm going to save you some trouble here, guys. I tried a lot of pointy things and small things, air compressors, and nothing worked. The only thing that worked was a bristle from a steel brush. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Looks like this is just stiff enough. More stiff than that copper. And this goes through, it penetrates. That's what we want. So we're gonna wiggle around, get it all cleaned out. Just gonna spray a little bit of carb cleaner down here. This is gonna feed out to here. If you're confused why my fuel bowl is reinstalled in this shot, I got a little excited and started reassembling things, only to realize I still had a little bit more cleanup to do. This is a teeny little hole. If we get this clean, then we should see the fluid coming out the other side here. I see it. That seems pretty good to me. Oh yeah, that's great. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing with this side. All right, we're gonna put some fluid down this hole too, and what that is gonna feed through where the emulsion tube is. So, see some fluid come out of here. Yep, so it's dripping right out of the bottom here. Show you one more time. Coming right out, so that's not blocked, so that's good. Now we're gonna put the emulsifier back up in here. And we'll put the main jet back in afterwards. We're gonna wanna make sure we hand thread this main jet on so we don't cross thread anything. And once it's certainly seated, we can hit it with a drill. One little pop, that's it. We're gonna put the carburetor bowl back on now. Make sure the screw on the bottom is nice and tight. And then let's put our plastic pieces back in here, making sure they're in the right spots and seated to the right depths. And from here, we'll just start reassembling. So I'll put our plate back on. Let's get our carburetor seated on here again. Got our little metal arms with the little plastic elbows. Don't forget that really skinny arm. The protective plates. More plates. Some thick nuts here. All the 10mm nuts. Don't forget your fuel lines. Don't forget your spade connectors for ignition. All this stuff. Putting it all back on together. Lastly, you'll put your little plastic red key turns on. As long as you're thorough to put everything back the way you took it off, you'll be in good shape to try this out. Got fuel on. Clutch open. Key on. 1, 2, 3. Guys, it was the first time in over 8 years that this machine has been running. So I'm super excited that we could get it going again. I hope you like this shortened version. I thought maybe the 26-minute version was a little intimidating for folks, so I thought I'd shorten it down here and do some explanation as I go. Hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully I'll have some more mechanical projects coming up soon. I got a leaf blower in the garage that needs to be tuned up and a couple other things. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy what you see. Please leave me a comment in the comment section if you know more than I do about this, which is probably very likely. I'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions for how I can do this more efficiently in the future. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you.